Get your Feddy, baby.
Just like that again. We back. We back. Brother man. With the silent we back. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all know what's going on, man. It's your boy Nemo. I love y'all. I hope y'all love me too. But we're going to get into that a little later. Y'all know what's going on, man. Let them folks know what's going on, brother.
It's your boy Coziest Pimp. Here for another Get Your Feddy podcast. Episode 58.
Yeah.
58. Ooh, on the money. 58. I'm on my show. Tequila saying right. I ain't gonna hold it.
No.
Tequila saying right.
Yeah, it's good. It seemed well with me so far. I mean,
Strong.
I've tasted worse.
It's an initial strong taste.
But it's not nasty. You know, sometimes strong kind of equates nasty, but it's...
I knew you was gonna say equate. I said it in my head too. I was like, equate. Ooh, he gonna say equate.
Anyway, man, y'all know what's going on. This is your favorite part of them podcast, the Get Your Feddy Entertainment Podcast. Let your mama them know.
Aunties, uncles, cousins, on God and them.
Grandma with the bad knees. Gotta let her know. We're gonna let her know every episode.
Why is Granny catching strays?
Cause Granny, if speaking of, you know, stereotypes, like we're gonna get into a little later, black folks don't go to grandma's house. We get dropped off over there. So if she young, I mean, if she got a lot of kids that like to watch podcast, grandma can't get up and change the channel. Grandma can't get up and leave if she got the bad knee. Grandma got to sit and watch the podcast. You know, after a while, if she get friends that come over there and they ask what you watch, it's a nice little podcast, actually. You know what I'm saying? So you appeal to the old folk. You feel me? So Granny with the bad knees got to get shouted out on your favorite part of them podcasts at all times.
GYFE for everybody. You know, we GYFE for everybody.
For sure.
We for the kids. We for grandma.
For sure.
Country folks.
We for the folks that work the night shift, but they sleep throughout the day. When they wake up, they got that 3-4 hours, you know what I'm saying, to just chill. We for them folk. We for the folks that sit at home, smoke weed all day. We for them folk too. You know what I'm saying? We for them folk.
Drinkers, like I said, we got tequila.
You know what I'm saying? We for everybody.
We got a couple bottles on here.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as long as we can reach everyone, we know we got an audience at all times. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we rock. GYFE is for the kids, like Wu-Tang say.
First thing Granny asks you to do as soon as don't sit down yet. Can you hand me the remote?
Hand me the remote. Put them podcast boys on, them Feddy Boyz.
Give me a glass of water while you got a bottle of water.
You feel me? Hand me the remote control. You know what I'm saying? Put them Feddy Boyz on. You did? So that's who we got to appeal to. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, as you guys can see, we have another special guest here for us today, for you guys today. You know what I'm saying? She is defying urban stereotypes. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna say too much. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. What's going on? Let the people know who he is.
My name is Jasmine Allen. I met D at Valdosta State. I started Ugly Urban in 2016. The mission statement is the ugly struggle to defy urban stereotypes. And what resonates with me as far as my brand goes is I was a 3-sport athlete. I did all of that. I went off to the service, came back, went to college. But my passion has always been like designing and clothes and, you know, having my own personal style. So I turned it into a brand because I didn't make it out per se doing sports or any other way. I just, you know, followed what I knew, followed what I was passionate about, and it's gotten me this far in life.
I like that. I like the fact you have a mission statement.
For sure.
You know, not a lot of people think to do that. What branch were you in?
I'm still serving United States Army Reserve.
Army Reserve. What's up?
My God.
Which sports?
Yeah, because I only knew one.
Which one do you know?
Basketball. You was a hooping ass nigga in Valdosta.
Okay, so it was basketball, softball, and track.
Okay, I think I knew about track. I think I did know about track. I think
Yeah.
you did say that.
You can dig it.
You look like a softball player. You look like what position?
Center field and shortstop.
Shortstop. Yeah.
For sure.
Shortstop for sure. Out of all three, which one was your favorite?
Track.
I see that.
And track because win, lose, that's on me. Like, I can't say, well, if you would have rebounded better, we would have won. Or if you would have caught more pop flies, we would have won. If I get smoked, I just got smoked. That's on me. Like, ain't nobody else taking accountability for that but me.
Yeah. That is the most one man team sport that you'll have. Because I mean, ain't it like a collective of wins means your team first place type shit, but
Tennis.
something like that.
I
Golf.
think that tennis, golf, like I think that's more individual than track. Track is individual to a certain extent, but when you run like relays and
For sure, you right.
and it's like points collected, which puts your team in place. So like you can have personal wins, but if y'all, drop the ball throughout the day, that's it. Like it don't matter if you won all your races. If they ain't do what they need to do in their department, it's over with.
You're right. You sure right. Mm-hmm. So does anything from like just what you learn in sports kind of give you a mindset into how you doing with your fashion? Like, have you learned anything from sports to transfer over to your business?
I will say high school and college was different for me. High school, I had a lot of growing pains. Let's just call them growing pains. I wanted to do things my way. It was my way or the highway. Like, if it ain't go how I wanted to go, that was it for me. But going military is really what structured me because I signed up and it's either finish, it ain't no quitting. Like,
Facts.
Yeah, you could go home, but it may not be going home in the way that you want to go home. Like in that environment, I feel like it made me grow up as far as, I talked about accountability a little bit earlier, but being in the service is like, I've never deployed, but I also have in mind like my actions in those type of situations can depend on if somebody come back home or not. So it's like being accountable and holding yourself to a certain standard. I feel like that fell over into my brand versus sports because for me, I didn't continue sports into college. So once I closed the chapter of high school, that was it for sports. But life experiences after high school, I feel like that molded me into the person that I was when I started UU.
Yeah, it was in that wreck though, goddamn.
Because it was
Dropping
like, you
buckets on
still
niggas.
gotta stay in shape. You still gotta, socialize.
Still got let folks know what the fuck going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dropping buckets on niggas. Quit playing.
So how did you get started and what got you into the fashion realm?
So I have drawings from when I was in third grade of clothing brands and clothing sketches and different drawings. Like I pursued art at VSU after a while. And once I found those, I was like, this has been a dream of yours for a long time. And I had it was a sketch with a brand name Juicy J on it. And I know that it was in relation to Juicy Couture at that time because that was the era that I grew up in, like the velour sweatsuits and, that type of thing. And I think it just deciding that I wanted to do what I wanted to do because I didn't enter VSU as a art major. I entered VSU as a dang, my memory is terrible. I entered VSU as a sports medicine major. And I did like 3.5 years of that. And I was like, you know what? I just want to do what I want to do.
You was out there on the football field. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. And then that's another thing. Like, it was so much. One thing I've learned about myself is that even though I'm in the military, I'm only reserved for a reason, because I still have the majority of the control over my life. Like, of course, if they call me, then I got to go. But with that degree, they had a lot of control over what I could and couldn't do. So that was a major reason why I got out, because I didn't feel like I had the freedom that I wanted. Like, I was locked to a football field. Their schedule was basically my schedule. And that didn't work for me. So it was like, I prayed about it, and I went and talked to my advisor, and I was like, look, I want to change my major to art. It's something that I've always been passionate about. It's something that I always wanted to do. And honestly, I hear you. I understand it's going to add an additional 4 years, but that's what I want to do.
So how did we get to the name of your business? Like, where did it come from? How did you develop, I guess, what it means, what you want to call it, what you feel it should bring to the forefront? Like, how did we get there?
Fashion in itself, I feel like, is a very watered down thing. And when I say that, I mean, like, everybody and their mama feel like they're a designer, like that they can have a clothing brand, and that, you know, it's oversaturated. And
it looked the same.
And it all looks the same at this point. And for me, it was like finding For me, it was finding something that popped, but also resonated with me, as far as something I was going to be okay with until I was done doing clothes. So, like I said earlier, the ugly struggle to defy urban stereotypes. You know, I feel like as Black people, we put in a box. As much as people like to try to say we put in a box. It's a certain expectation that people that aren't Black, and some Black people, have of Black people. And seeing that there's not that many Black designers, seeing that, you know, we are the minority in that field, and having something unique, but also something that felt pure, as far as I didn't go copy, like I said earlier, Juicy Couture. Mm-hmm. I had my own thing. And I feel like it's something that when you hear it, it makes you want to ask a question about it. It makes you want to know exactly what it is that represents. So that's what really got me into Ugly Urban. Just taking growing up in different avenues of life and pouring it into what I'm passionate about.
That's why I said last episode, like, everything is the same. That Hellstar design, everybody is taking that and like running with it. Everything got flames, everything got stars, everything got bedazzles, everything got like it's just all the same design, bro. Like I'll walk up to somebody and ask them, like, bro, that's Hellstar? Like, no, this my shit. I'm like, oh, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Just look the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not a knock towards you or the Hellstar design, but everybody's in the same boat.
It's clear where you got your inspo from.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but for how long? Or is that going to be your brand, is riding the wave? Or is it really like, I fuck with this, I've always wanted to do this, they just inspired me to finally start?
I don't know. I don't think people understand the difference between inspiration and copy. That's honestly what I'm like.
It's a very, very thin line.
People, it's like what we've talked about with us. I mean, it's inspiration, and then it's just straight copying.
And at the same time, it's a whole lot of hating. Let's just call it space. You hate it. So you're inspired like enough to want to do it, hating to the point you want to do it, but now we just copying because you're on my page. On my page,
I don't know, man.
Stealing videos and ideas is crazy work out here.
Crazy
to think
work.
that I wouldn't catch you is even worse. Anyways.
I don't know, man. I feel it's just where we're at now, bro. Like, I mean, people just see it, feel like they can do it better, take the whole idea, copy and paste it, and say it was theirs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel I understand the competition. If you feel like you can do it better, cool, do it better. Don't take mine.
Look, that's the hating part I was talking about.
That's so crazy, but I feel like especially your brand, like if somebody was to copy and paste that would be just flat out disrespect. Because even though, you know what I'm saying, it's a clothing brand, yours is it's in a different direction. For one, you're very hands on with your brand. Like, you do a lot of the sewing, you do a lot of the what's it called?
Embroidery, screen print.
Yeah, you do a lot. Is that just something you've always been into, and it's just, once you was able to, like, get hands on with a lot of stuff, you just dove into it, or you had to learn a lot of that stuff?
So I'm very thankful for VSU. And when I say that, what I mean is the art department. Like, in the state of Georgia, VSU probably has the most diverse art department.
Okay.
From woodworking to screen printing. Well, it's called printmaking, but you screen print in that class because you can make several different types of prints in that class, to jury making, to graphic design, a 3-part series to that, painting, drawing, anything really. They don't have textiles though. They did have a sewing class, but it was in the theater department and you had an assignment. But I will say Miss Esther did give you the basics. If you've never touched a sewing machine before, you could come out of that class and have that finished product. So changing my major to art, that was my first time ever getting into screen printing. Sean Hurley was amazing. I feel like VSU lost a great instructor when he moved on. He made it to where it's I call it Barney level. He didn't insult our intelligence, but it was so simple to the fact that it didn't take much to pick up that skill. And like I said, they department is very vast, and I feel like that helped me in my brand as well because it gave me the hands-on to do different things. I'm looking at right now, I'm getting a master's, but it's not in art, but I also want to go on a residency for jury making because that's also a part of what I want to incorporate into the brand. And being on social media, and like we were talking about earlier, a fine line between copying and being inspired. Seeing people that's in my same field basically freelance and fund their whole life freelancing. Mm-hmm. That's also something that I want to be able to do eventually. But I will say VSU opened up my eyes as far as knowing more about art than just drawing and painting. It's so many different avenues up under that one umbrella.
So was it the major change that put you in the business, or was you already doing the business before you changed your major?
So I already had the sketches for the business. The business was already in the works. It was just having the access to media and being around that environment that flushed everything out. Being in there and seeing, oh, you could do this on your own. At the time I was paying local screen printers to print my stuff, and it's I'm in there and I see how it worked. I could do this on my own.
For sure.
Now, is this an original piece?
No, this is Zara.
Okay.
Unfortunately. And that was and I'm so disappointed because that was a plan. I wanted to make my own outfit for this podcast, but time just got away. I started it, but I didn't get to finish it. So hopefully, if I come back, I have my own outfit made for.
Offline, I'm gonna say something to you, but it's because we're just not there yet. It's planning for next year, so I'm just not gonna reveal it too soon. But
for For sure.
Okay.
Now, how many hours do you feel like you put into trying to get a drop ready? Because I heard you did a streetwear market here in Atlanta.
Yeah, I did.
What was that like?
Yeah, what was that process like? Get ready for.
It was tedious. Like, that was a big venue. That was a real big venue, and I'll say it took a good 8 months to get ready for that. Like, from seeing it and then picking which, are you going to be a part of the summer, spring, or fall show? A good 8 months of production to get everything situated. The experience, it was okay. Like,
you did a whole weekend or just a day?
Just a day. Yeah, like the day was enough, I think, for me.
I mean, shit, you ain't come half step. You had a whole little backdrop for the storefront look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You really went into that though.
8 months of planning though.
Facts.
Yeah.
Is that where you started? Did you start on some shit where it's I want to create a scene, or was it what you wanted to bring as far as your merch that kind of made the whole how you felt like you needed to set it up or whatnot?
So I started with how I wanted my 10 by 10 to look. I went back and forth about that for about a month. And then I reached out to Chris. I didn't make my backdrop. Chris made that design for that event or whatever. And he finished that. He did an amazing job. And then I went into deciding what it was that I was going to have there as far as clothes. Because for me, it's like creating an experience. Yeah, you there for clothes, but how are you going to set yourself apart from everybody else in here that got
for
clothes?
Sure.
So having an environment, working with the space that I was given or the space that I paid for, how was I going to customize that to me? And I feel like that was the major part of that, because clothes are clothes. Like, you sell clothes, like you know how to facilitate that. But setting up, like I said, a unique space, that was something that I never did in an event that big.
I feel like it really, you are in a elite bunch out of Valdosta though. It's a lot of people that's out there doing clothing brands or whatnot, but you was in a wave where it was who was it at earlier in my VSU time? What was it? Show Love. They was doing stuff. Then you had Hallelujah Trends. Then who else? There was somebody else. Somebody else was in there, but then of course you came in there in that little spot. It's people out there with if you say a name or a brand, they know what you're talking about. Like Array, King Artworks, you know what I'm saying? Right now, I don't know if you've seen it. It's one of my partners named Cam, Unreleased. He got something going on out there. I think he just graduated though, really, but his wave of clothing apparel is going through there, and it's not too many people that can do it from what I see. People really be of course, O'Barron also, they're pushing through as well. That's one of the bigger names. But I mean, I don't know if you ever sat back and thought about it, but how does that feel where you can be in Valdosta and say Ugly Urban and people know what they're talking about?
I think we have different perspectives.
Really?
And what I mean by that is, I did come up with a lot of great brands. During that time at VSU, a lot of great stuff came through there. However, I was having a conversation with somebody, and Ugly Urban came up. I didn't bring it up. They were talking to me about it. And they were telling me, this is a brand, this is dope. They wasn't sure who made it. And I was like, who you think made it? Do you think it's a male, female? Who do you feel like is behind that? And it's I really don't know. And I never told them that it was me. And that's why I feel like we have different perspectives, because I like to think as a brand owner, people should probably know who's over it or who produces it.
Agreed.
And still to this day, I don't think people know that it's me. Like, of course you know, like,
So,
but, and of course my circle knows, but I kind of like it in a sense because
I was about to say that's still kind of fire.
you don't have a preconceived notion. Oh, I don't like her, so
Facts.
that hating factor
Facts.
ain't added to that. Like, I can't hate on something that I don't know where it came from. My first initial thought, that's dope. Now I know who made it. Oh, I want to retract my statement because I don't like her.
Because, I mean, like you said, with that right there, you know, a hate notion or a popular motion is, I mean, everybody knows who is behind O'Barron. Everybody knows who's behind things like the Hallelujah trends. Everybody knows who's behind that. Everybody knew who was behind Show Love. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not saying that it's popularity that drugged them, like, made what they made, you know, a success. Nah, they put in their hard work as well. But for a person who's made something, you know what I'm saying, that's popular around the area like that, and people don't really know who it is, I feel like that's tough as well, because once it gets to where it needs to get, and then people really starting to find out who it was, then it can't hit you with the, oh, I went to school, you know what I'm saying, I did. I mean, you probably still gonna get the fake, oh, she thought she was cool, you know what I'm saying, this, and act like they know you. But at the same time, it's still like, I've been on this brand for years. Nobody knew who it was until it hit the light it was supposed to hit. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like it also takes a little bit of pressure away because, like you were saying, everybody know who's behind Hallelujah Trends. Everybody know who's behind O'Barron. I think I could have conversations with people and we not talk about clothes at all.
Yeah.
And now it's like, that's a lot of my conversations. Like, now that people are connecting that dot and knowing that, you know, it's me, that's all people want to talk about. When you dropping something new, why you ain't did X, Y, and Z? How come you ain't? And it's like, bro, that's a major part of my life, but I don't want to talk about that every time I see you. I don't want that to be the only thing that resonates with you when it comes to me. Like, right. I love my brand. I love what I do. But if we chilling, we chilling. I don't really want to think about spring next year. Like, I don't. Like, it's just, I feel like it's a time and a place for everything, and having that
balance.
The balance, and also that incognito type motion towards what you do is also a good thing. Because I forgot who said it, but they were talking about their success and still being able to go to Target. I'm a Target girly. Like, I love Target real bad. And I want to be able to be successful and still go in Target and not shut they store down. Like, you know.
I mean, yeah, but it's coming.
It's coming. For sure.
Ugly Urban, like, it's fire. You know what I'm saying? It is different, even for what it is that you put on your clothes, bro. Like, some of it's simple, but it's put together nice. It's in the right spots. It's the right size. It's the right logo for the right shirt. It's that you really have it's like a level of professionalism that you already have for things that are out in, you know, the market already, that you have in a place where it's still an underground thing or an incognito thing. You have it. Once the right eyes get put on it, oh, you ain't gonna be able to walk in Target. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to send somebody else to do your shopping.
I feel like you can still go.
I ain't gonna be able to Target.
You better have security with you by then, but
exactly,
you know, you'll be able to make it in and out.
I'm trying to get in Target, so I'm going to Target. like yeah,
you gonna have your own Target.
Have your stuff in Target.
Yeah. So like, you know how like they do. Well, y'all probably don't know. Men don't usually be Target men, but you know,
I shop everywhere.
if you go into Target and you go into their women's department, I haven't seen it in their men's department. And I'm not saying that it's not there. I just don't really shop Target's men department. I do shop some people's men department, but just not Target's. They have like, you know, of course, Black History Month. They have Native American Heritage Month, Spanish Heritage Month. But they also have this thing where they bring in up and coming designers, and they have like a little section in the store that's basically marked out for that designer for whatever time period they're in the store. So yeah, I'm definitely shooting my shot with Target.
For sure. I mean, definitely just going back to you know, the incognito things of it. I mean, that also it keeps you at your own pace too.
Yes, absolutely.
Because like you said, I mean, people ain't just constantly on social media talking to you about when you gonna drop, when you gonna do this, when you gonna do that. It gives you time to sit back, find your inspiration for your next line of work that you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I also like, so I haven't built my following to where I want it to be, but I also like the fact that the drops, when they do drop, people are like appreciative of it. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna let it sit because she'll release something next week. Like, it's not back to back. Like 2024, I probably released one hoodie and that was it. Like, was that really the plan? No, but I'm a big advocate for mental health and like being the best person that you could be. And 24 was just not that for me. So I took time away because I feel like when you're not where you want to be, it shows in different parts of your life. And I didn't want it to be a thing where I'm going through a mental struggle. My clothes suck. Like, I'm just pushing stuff out because, you know, this is what I got to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like the fact that, you know, it still has a version of exclusivity to it. Like, I didn't get this one, and I probably won't ever be able to get it because that's also a thing for me. Like, I may restock, but it's a high chance that you'll never be able to get that piece again.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it because I feel the same way with our stuff, but if the demand is there, you know, I just might.
I mean, demand. So one thing I've learned about people talk. People have you spending money doing stuff that you thought they wanted.
Bro.
I resonate so much with what you. I understand completely.
And then you get it, and it's like, bro, I got 50 of them 2XL jumpsuits in a warehouse because people was on my neck like, oh, you discriminate and you don't like big people. I'm like, no, it's not that. I'm just basic. Like, I'm still a baby in what I want to do. And I don't have the clientele to push 50 2XL jumpsuits right now.
Or just all sizes in general.
Right. Like,
you got an extra small? No.
Right. Right. Like, I don't even sell regular smalls. Y'all ain't even buying regular smalls. Why would I go get an X small? Like, no. Like, if you wear between a medium and an XL, you always gonna be straight with me. But I'm sorry, I can't. That's just, I feel like I'm wasting time because I haven't found that market with people that wear those sizes. Like, size small is not, like, I probably could get away with not ever releasing another small because I don't wear a small no more.
That's actually interesting. I didn't think you could get away with not having smalls.
I mean, I've met people,
but it makes sense,
where they release one size, a medium or a large, and either you gonna have it as a novelty piece, give it to somebody as a gift, or do the work to fit in the medium or a large. This is what it's gonna be like.
For sure.
This is what it's gonna be, and I personally probably wouldn't do that, but I feel like for my audience and where I'm at right now, medium through XL, I'm straight. Like, I'm gonna get complaints, and I've resonated with that. I was like, all right, well, I ain't saying it's never gonna be, but right now that's not where I'm at. I do got these that's in this warehouse if you want something, but no, I'm not making this in a small or 2XL. I'm sorry.
So basically, you telling me you really the Andre 3K of this fashion shit. You gonna take your time. You gonna drop the shit that you drop. It may not be for everybody, but a lot of motherfuckers is gonna get it.
In that aspect, yeah. But Andre did try his hand at fashion. The Bixby, I don't know if y'all familiar with that, but he had a brand up under that name, and it didn't do well. And I look at it and I'm like, how did this not do well? But I will say I feel like it was ahead of its time, because if I could relate it to anything currently, I would relate it to a Kith, or I don't know how to say it, but it's Kith 2.0. It's just up under a different name. I just feel like he was ahead of his time.
Probably was. I mean, Andre, the thing about, like, this is what I tell people with music in general. The stuff that we hear, unless it's one of those, like, when people get out of jail, they first day out drop, they probably made it and it dropped 2 days later. People like Andre 3K, like the music that you hear that he finally dropped, he probably initially recorded that like 3 months ago. Took his time having it engineered, took his time making it sound right. You know what I'm saying? That too, yeah. But maybe project wise, like if he's dropping an album, I'd say probably about 3 years. Something that he's just dropping a single on, and it's something real quick. Like I honestly feel like that's like a few month process. He probably recorded it, listened to it, re-recorded it, got it mixed and mastered to the point where he feels like it's, you know what I'm saying, to his point. So maybe a clothing line probably did take some time, like, and he was really ahead of his time on some shit. And it probably,
in his aspect, it's one of those where when you buy your clothes and then you put it on, you make it work for you and it look good on you. It's the point where now you trying to wholesale that and put that out there for everybody else. They might not want all these pieces. He probably, like, you know how you go to the mall and you see a mannequin, you be like, damn, that fit hard. I need to think of some shit like that. You not.
That's
that, and that's what it's like. Maybe that's why. I don't know, because unfortunately I ain't never heard of it.
He probably made clothes for window shoppers, motherfuckers who see some shit.
I'm finna show y'all what it is, because y'all ain't finna disrespect.
I ain't saying window shoppers like that. What I'm saying is, like, when you see some shit that look real good, but you look at it and you like, nah, I gotta really like put some shit together first. You know what I'm saying?
On the mannequin.
And then you come back a month or two later, it's still there. You know what I'm saying? Well, I done found this piece and this piece to go with it. I could grab that shit. You know what I'm saying? So he probably.
The name of it was Benjamin Bixby. And yeah, like, to me, that was.
It's definitely.
To compare it to anything, the two people that I compared it to, I think it would have been in that same realm.
It's definitely something that's before its time, because it's not too many. It's not too many people who are not like rich or rich and in the fashion game that's gonna dress like that.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I'm loving it though.
Facts. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's certain pieces that I would grab just off of those pictures. No cap. But it's people that's not gonna. I'm gonna tell you a person that'll put some shit on, like Tyler the Creator will wear some shit like that.
And then that's another thing.
You know
like,
Rocky
ASAP would definitely wear some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly,
Kendrick
Thugger too.
Thugger just might put some shit on like that for real. Kendrick could throw some shit on like that.
Just might.
Huh?
Thugger definitely.
Yeah. Let me take that back. He definitely will. But it's niggas like that, and they got to be the ones that get on that wave for us regular folk to hop on it. It's not too many people that's just finna see that in the store and just think to wear it without it giving. I feel like it gives a person and like a regular person, I feel like it give them costume vibes instead of like fashion vibes.
And I also think that Andre came up in an era in Atlanta where jerseys, tall tees,
the baggy sweats, baggy everything.
And then he released a trim prim type brand, and it didn't resonate with his audience. Like it didn't. That wasn't at the time. The people that was listening to that music did not dress like that.
Right.
And I may be boxing them in, but I feel like the majority of Outkast's audience wasn't wearing it.
Facts. Especially when he dropped, come on, bro. When he dropped Hey Y'all, he took it back. But that's how that nigga was dressing at that point, for real.
The speaker box versus...
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's it.
That's it right there. But niggas,
nice.
niggas ain't, you know what I'm saying? Even with his little cartoon that he had, I feel like he did it on purpose where everybody, the kids that he was around, of course, was like...
Please retract your statement. Little cartoon show? Don't do my mans like that. He made it a cartoon.
Come on, bro. Stop nitpicking everything I say. It's just a...
That is a thing, though. Like,
I ain't disrespecting the man.
Don't call nothing I'm doing little.
The shit fire.
I'm going to ask you to retract your statement as well.
Okay. His great cartoon.
No, you could just say his cartoon.
No, because I gotta put
I
gotta put big respect on it now because he brought attention to it.
Yeah.
I used to watch it. It was fire. But I mean, even his character, just his character was on some shit like that. And everybody else around him, you know what I'm saying, was.
But he teaching kids. I don't expect every kid to be. It's not a private school.
But facts. But that's how it was. And a lot of folks don't fuck with it. I got his whole album, the Flute album. I got that whole shit on my phone. That is amazing when you sitting in the tub in the bubble bath. Not gonna hold you. That is great. When you read a little book, I don't read too much, but when I do sit down to read, I had that in the background.
I was disappointed.
Cleaning, do the same thing. Why?
Because
you wanted him to rap.
I wanted him to rap. Like, dude, you ain't dropped. You done did some features, but you ain't had a solo project, and your solo project is flutes, bells, and whistles.
That's what he.
Like that's I'm a big Andre fan. I love that man. However, as a fan, I'm like, yes, it's on my phone. Yes, I download it. Yes, I listen to it when I'm meditating. But I wanted you to be rapping. You know, you did that interview when you said you had thousands of hours of music locked in a vault. I hope this wasn't it.
It probably was.
I hope that's not.
This was definitely fresh. This was new.
That man, he's been walking around with that flute for 5 years. He probably more than that. He's been locked into that album for a long time. This man is at regular restaurants around Atlanta. People are catching him eating a Philly cheesesteak. After every 2 bites, he playing some shit on the flute. He doing that.
Fluting.
He might walk into Magic City on a Monday, get some wings, take 2 bites of the wings, and hit the flute. My mans was doing regular shit with the flute. He been locked into that project for a minute. And you gotta be, because that's a different sound you putting over a microphone. Different sounds that you putting over a microphone. I did think he was gonna rap on that thing too, but once I kind of just got in my mind, all right, this a flute album, bro. I just let it do what it do.
Accept it for what it is, but I'm also like, you can't be done. And I think that's selfish of me, but I'm also still standing on that. Like, bro, give us a solo project, because I really be arguing with people about his stance in the rap game, because people be trying to play him like, okay, he ain't got no solo album. However, how many people got features like he got? Like, how many people got features on a song that go number 1 because of that feature?
Facts.
Like,
see, the thing about that, when they talk about his stance in the rap game, I don't like when they just try to single him out though and just be like, "Oh, just Andre." Man, Big Boy was murdering shit too, bro.
For sure.
Right.
You know, he up there. Just say Outkast.
For sure.
Right.
It's almost the same thing with the Wu-Tang. Like, I understand they did branch out and do their individual albums and stuff, but still as a collective, there's not too many weak verses on any of these albums. You can just say he did better than him, but weak verses, nah, man. Like, Big Boy was still spitting.
I think with Andre though, it comes to a thing like what me and you be talking about, where when you say so you just don't care about your fans. I feel like it's a situation where he just don't have to depend on his fans no more.
I mean,
and I'm not saying
though.
I ain't saying it's a money thing, but like you just said, Jazz, like he's got on verses. He's made songs #1. Definitely probably got his cut out of it. And he's able to put his money that he's made to certain shit that he just feel like he got time for or he wants to make time for.
But I also can respect the fact that, well, I don't know about Big Boy. Big Boy got a solo album?
I honestly would like to say yes, but
I can't,
So what I was going to say was, and I know this going to go on air, and if y'all find out that Big Boy got his own album, don't crucify me. Like, okay, Big Boy got his own album. One thing I do like about that is that Andre don't have a solo album, but as a conglomerate, like, they were amazing. And I don't really think he need a solo album because Outkast was a group. Outkast wasn't two individuals. It was two people that came together and gave us great bodies of work. And I don't think they have to stand alone. Like, I don't think that...
In a movie.
It's in a movie. I know why it was crazy.
I saw that in theaters.
Yes. I still got the soundtrack.
But it just shows you, like, they were two people to come together to make some shit and didn't let the people divide. That's what happened with the Migos, bro. The Migos were a great group, but they let, in my opinion, the fans come together and say, oh, if Tate do a solo album, he gonna show you he better than the rest of them. If Offset do one, he gonna show you that he better than the rest of them. And they fed into it. And I felt like after a while, I didn't do nothing immediate, but after a while, that's what started drawing the wedge between them. They started feeling like one was better than the other at some point. At some point it happened because the stuff that hit the fan that came to the light or whatever happened, if you the same group that you was when you started out, none of that would happen. Y'all three niggas that believe in empowering each other, making sure each other are at the top of their game. But when you get into a thing where you feel like what the people are saying the truth, you're going to feed into it. And if once you see the numbers, you're going to think that's what it is. I don't feel like Andre and Big Boy really let that get to them. If they did, they probably just made it fuel them to be the better versions of themselves and still encouraged each other. But I feel like that's where they get the Speaker Box Love Below album mix up that they kind of did or whatnot. They took it like, all right, let's do something. Let's get the people what they want.
If we want to talk about solo albums, technically majority of that album was, the Speaker Box was one and Love Below was the others. I'm sure they had a couple collabs per song, but like majority of your side was your side. And this is my side.
I feel like that's what it was.
How they did that's that. How but they then did you turn around and do Idlewild and we do it together.
So that's I don't know, man. AJ.
But back to you.
I'm glad you ain't dragged me into that Migo situation because I don't have no dog in that fight.
Today's not a wrap up. Today's a fashion.
For sure.
So I talked about it with my boy, and we didn't go into detail about it. I would love to have this conversation with him, but I cannot get this man on the podcast. His availability is slim to none. But the fashion market, and we don't have to go big names because we're not necessarily there, but even with the big names, what do you feel like the state of fashion, or not what, how do you feel like the state of fashion is right now?
I feel like the you got the houses, of course you got the fashion houses, but I also feel like we trying to put street clothes in a house, and it's really not that. Like how you were saying earlier, how we got Hellstar replicas. I don't even know what Hellstar is. I do see the flames on people's clothes, but I didn't know to draw that back to Hellstar. So I think that, like we were saying, there's a lot of duplications, and there's a lot of people that are great with graphics and they're able to sell those graphics. So that's where you get a lot of duplication, a lot of people saying that this is my brand's identity. And I think that it's causing, I think that's why Shein is what Shein is. And it's a decline, honestly. Like, I'm so glad that I know how to sew and how to present stuff to be made into patterns, because it's a decline, not only in quality, but as far as creativity. If you just look, I was just looking at somebody, and I'm not going to name drop because I would still work with this person. I was looking at somebody's designs, and I could tell, like, we're at a point where we're just putting stuff out just for the name of putting stuff out, just to say, I checked that box. And I don't think people are really being passionate about the craft anymore as far as what they release and how much time goes into it. I think that we're in a fast fashion era. Like I said, Shein is what it is because of the state of fashion. Like, and how people view fashion. Like, I could tell you that I hand stitched a jersey, and this is the price that I'm selling it for. And in that same sentence, you turn around and say, well, she ain't got this same style jersey and it costs $12. Why you charging so much? It's not the same. Quality. It's not the same type of dynamic. It's not the same quality. It's not the same thought process. Who's to say she ain't see that on my Instagram and now they done mass produced it?
You feel me?
So it's like, we're in a state of emergency in street. Now, when I think about fashion, I'm thinking about the houses, and I'm thinking about Fashion Week and the pieces that you see. That's what I consider like fashion. Like, I feel like I'm a designer and I know how to do clothes, but I don't think I'm up there with them because I probably wouldn't wear
what they putting out.
Absolutely
not.
So
shit is garbage.
It's kind of like,
I just feel like fashion shows are for pieces. Like, I don't feel like you'll wear what they walking down the lane with on
pieces.
But if you like, take this piece, put it with this piece, put it with that piece, that's what I be feeling like.
One, you don't have to buy the whole collection.
Facts.
You can buy a piece of it, the shirt, the jeans. Right? Like, I don't need you to get, I would love for you to buy it, but you don't have to get every single thing, every little item that I'm trying to showcase to you. But even with that, that's still up to you and how you try to, it's the same thing with Andre Brand, like what we were saying, like he can buy a piece and put it together with some other stuff and he dresses like this. So then you expect for him to put it out like that and you don't have to.
So for me, it's kind of like, I used to always tell people that I don't consider myself a high fashion designer. Like, the quality gonna be there, the intricacy gonna be there. Like, I'm gonna put my time and effort in it, but you're gonna have some really great quality, simple pieces. And I don't really know where to place that at when it comes down to a house, because I don't really think I make those type of clothes. However, in recent times, and this is going to segue into what I wanted to tell you all about what I want to do for Ugly Urban next. So like I was saying, I know how to sew, and I know how to like present things to be made into a pattern. I don't know how to pattern made yet. That's not a task that I've accomplished yet, but we're working on it. And I want to take my brand into like one of those brands to where like I still have things for the masses. Like, you'll get a hoodie here and there, but the majority of my pieces are like, I'm gonna say they're one-of-ones, because I don't care how, unless you're getting something to produce on a machine, even when you buy hoodies at a wholesale rate, some of those hoodies are gonna be different than other ones. Like, the coloring is gonna be a little bit deeper in some, and sometimes a small is not true out of the 10 smalls that you've ordered. Like, it doesn't fit the same. So I'm going to say that it'll be one-of-ones, and it'll be in a sense of, the quality is going to be the same, but I'm not going to tell you that I'll be able to place things on a piece of fabric the same way 5 times. Cause like an idea that I was discussing with one of my friends a couple days ago, a portion of UU is gratitude as well. And I had a series called Give Someone Their Flowers Today. And I never really released the full series of that because I didn't feel like it was where I wanted it to be or what it needed to be. But how we were just talking about pieces and how things go on a fashion show, like the ideas that I have, and I wish I could tell y'all what it was, but, you know, I would like to just release it and show it versus talking about it. Mm-hmm. It's one of those type things where it's like, I said that, you know, I don't want to make house fashion, but at the same time, I have that in me because of how this series of peacoats is going to go. So it's like, you know, different graphics, different designs. I could consider them one-on-ones because the placement of the elements that'll be on these jackets won't be the same for every jacket. And I think I deviated from whatever question you asked me, but I had to get that out.
I mean, if just what I'm getting off of you saying, you know, the houses and stuff like that, like I said, your pieces though, they have a certain level of professionalism about them. Mm-hmm. So it's not, it's like, yeah, it's streetwear, but it can be placed where it's at with certain products that you might release because of just you have a eye for certain things. Like I said, coming down to how you embroider something, to the placement of where it's at, to the way that it looks when you put it on. Like I don't know. It's a certain like structure that you have about it to where I feel like it could be there, and it's not something that'll take long. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't want to put UU in a box because
for sure
that's not my intention. I look at it as a kid. Like when you're raising your children, you want them to be the best that they could be, mm-hmm. and that's how I look at UU. Like, it's still growing. It's still, I don't know where it's gonna take me. Who's to say after I do this interview, the end of 25, I'm at a fashion week and I got these pieces that I just sat here and told y'all I wouldn't wear, but I'm able to produce them. So here I am. And, you know, like, and I think that is like, cause I ain't gonna say everything that I've seen at Fashion Week that I wouldn't wear, cause there is a lot of stuff that I would wear, but like, it's a lot of stuff that I'd be more amazed than anything, because where was your mind at when you decided to flip a dress upside down and make it to where it has so much structure to where it's not bending, folded, it's just standing straight up and legs are just walking like
in the clouds?
What? Like I be amazed. Like
that sound like some perk shit.
Facts.
Y'all gotta watch it. Y'all gotta watch it.
Nah, bro. Did y'all see this is going off the shit, but there was an outfit made of used condoms, bro. A dress.
I ain't see that one.
A dress, bro.
And then, like I said, it's so many different elements to Fashion Week. Like, it's like
full dress, the whole dress. There was not a sleeve that maybe was just something else and didn't know.
Are you assuming they was used, or you just... You know for a fact they was used?
I'm just going off what the woman said that they put in the article. The woman who they interviewed said, yes, use condoms. I didn't see a video. I don't know who the lady is, but that's what she said.
That money must have been good. Must have been. Ain't no damn way you put that on.
No, we'll go on record and say that. You won't see that from you. Like I can't. I don't know. Like that doesn't tickle my fancy.
That's tough.
Like
bro.
That's that's somebody's thing. It's just not my thing.
Like I don't understand. And the picture that they posted was just her smiling, very great. Just this is my used condom dress.
And I can appreciate Fashion Week because it's gonna make you get in your bag, because like. Whatever you think, whatever your thought process is, it's like, it's a competition. And I feel like it's a competition on how can I make the most extravagant thing and compete. Cause I ain't never seen that. But I did see that dress, and that just stuck with me. Like, they really put this dress on upside down, and it kept its form. And only thing I see is legs. Like, how does this model know where he or she is going? Like, you know,
who are your friends? Who are your people?
It's not people. About that, bro. It's
no, bro. I get it, but okay, take it to the money situation. Who's the person who told the person to go to this person and say, give them some money for this condom dress?
No, who are you? That's not how that works.
That's not their thought
a brand thing. And then we have like how Victoria's Secret, they have the Victoria's Secret fashion show. You got your household Victoria's Secret angels. They just wearing their brand at that point. And that's all that is. You're a model for this particular person, or you are definitely getting paid, and I'm just putting you in our shit. So this No.
I ain't talking about the person wearing it. I'm talking about the person who made it.
First of all, the person that made it, everybody that's around them okayed it. Everybody that's around them.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and that you like-minded people. Y'all got the same, you know. Nobody in that said nah, bro.
Exactly,
and that's okay. Like in your group, in your circle, everybody okayed it, and that's okay because in that realm, it's not about what Jasmine think should or shouldn't be here. It's about I've been doing this for X amount of years. F Jasmine, we going with it. You know.
I guess what I'm missing is, okay, you got a group of 6 motherfuckers. You the person that's the fashion nigga, whatever. And you say you gonna do this, and your other 6 motherfuckers say, yeah,
yes,
cool.
They like-minded individuals. And when you think about your friend group, think about how many people you're around that's really going, unless you just doing some crazy stuff, because you got to think like this is what they do.
So
everybody
that's ain't crazy.
Huh?
A condom dress
I'm not saying that that's not crazy. What I'm saying is when you in them type of environments and you going with that type of thing, a lot of the people, they on board with that because that's what they've all worked for. They've talked about it, they planned it, and that's, yeah. And if you did disagree, you just not there no more. Like,
that's tough.
It's not a thing of
you're not on that project,
right?
That's tough because that's what I was talking about last time, bro. Like, yes, men, bro. Like, you gotta have some motherfuckers that just be like, nah, bro, you tripping.
And you do have people that say, nah, you tripping. They just not on that project.
Exactly, but then you as
like,
a person,
they left the company. They just not on that project.
You as a person, then just be like. Okay, if I come and interview you and you tell me that, yeah, there was 1 or 2 people who told me that I shouldn't do it. Granted, we at a point where we're having this interview right now because it did what it did. I get that. But a lot of times right now, things get to where they get just because you get enough clicks on social media.
This is true too, because we are in that age.
So, but it's like, all right, I'm going to be the nigga that ask, okay, so what made you just kick them off? What about this made you feel like they were in the way? We gonna push it. You have to give me something legitimate. You can't just say, nah, I just want to fucking with them.
No, you don't.
I can't.
Because as an adult individual, you just gotta like you gotta understand that people gonna do what they want to do regardless of if you agree with it or not. And at day's end, I'm the head of this. I run this. I'm the designer. I don't care what y'all say. This is what we're going with.
That's tough.
And that's just, I mean, in a sense, I understand what you mean when you say, like, you need people around you that's going to tell you tripping. But when it comes down to a creative thing, like, I feel like that's a touchy area because I could think I got $1 million idea. And if I never push it, because you said it's trash, I'm going to always probably hold something over your head because you told me my shit was trash. And they just did it, and they don't went up.
That's it. But then again, that's where you have the
can't do it. Ankle hurt.
The less quality of stuff, like we were saying last week, and it just ties into this here. Like, just because that motherfucker did it, don't mean that's the wave you have to get on to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, if we're thinking of a dress idea. you got a person. This is just me thinking. You got a person who come out with the condom shit, right? They think that shit hard. But another person comes out with a crayon dress. And they come up with it. It's the Roy G. Biv shit where they got a bunch of crayons.
First of all, and a crayon dress don't sound bad.
You feel me?
Compared to the condom dress?
Yeah, but
no.
But because
if you would have led with crayon, I would have been on board. I'm just not wearing no used condoms. But that's just me. But if you would have led with crayon, if crayon was the topic of discussion, I'd probably be looking at you like, dude, what's wrong with a crayon dress?
But I'm on board for crayon. Like, that's the reason why I said it sound good. But because condom is crazy, that's what's going to get the clicks on social media. That's what's going to make that motherfucker blow up if you put a condom dress and a crayon dress side by side.
I don't know. I think they'll both equally do numbers because
I feel like it'll do numbers quietly. Everything is going to be talked about with the and the thing about with the crayon part, it'll probably still get its endorsements. It'll probably still get its fans. It'll probably still get the same amount of like celebrities, but this is the type of celebrities that'll come from. I'm just using two names. I'm not saying that they'll wear it. You'll have the LeBron Jameses that's on the condom sheet, but you'll have the Kawhi Leonards on the crayon sheet. I use them to is just to give you the perspective of like the level of celebrity that would be used. Like everybody, of course, everybody knows both, but LeBron is a more in your face celebrity. Kawhi is the quieter one. But that's the type of shit that'll come between those two style of dresses, in my opinion. That's what I feel like would happen.
I get what you're saying, but I know a lot of LeBron James fans, and I do not feel like LeBron James fans will be on board.
Condom dress?
The condom dress.
I mean, we know he not going to wear it, but nor is Savannah.
That's why I wanted you to use.
That's why I had to explain. So, like, you know, the disclaimer that she gave, don't try to cancel me. I'm not saying this nigga LeBron is finna be walking around in that type of clothing. I'm just giving y'all the wide span of celebrityism, if that's a word.
You should have used somebody in a fashion sector. Like,
I ain't into all that, so I can't.
I feel like you could have still dropped like the Kardashians or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't
Lady
think,
Gaga.
Not even really
like
just saying that name, but just like, you know, the Kardashians are up here with it.
Come on,
I just don't think my point would have got across.
It didn't resonate with them two either.
It did.
It did.
It did not.
It definitely did. Bro.
It did not.
I feel like whoever is watching this is gonna be like,
no.
Why he say that? But I see what you saying.
No, they
I
gonna
feel
be
like that's what's gonna happen.
Let us hear it in the comments, please.
Yeah, let me know if I'm tripping. Tell me if I'm tripping.
I feel like people watching until we get to this part and they start to agreeing with y'all two. When they first see it, they're gonna be like, "Why the fuck he say that?" But I see what he's saying. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like niggas is gonna know what I'm talking about. I honestly feel like that.
No, they not. They gonna be looking at you like.
I feel like that's what's going on.
You could have said the Kardashians. I know if you didn't want to name drop any specifics because we know they still not wearing a damn condom dress.
I get that. I'm just because I pulled out the topic of the condom dress and went to the comparison and shit. I just used them names because it's everybody understands the weight behind his name and everybody understands the weight behind that name. When I say those two names together, they understand what I mean. Okay. Both of them are great athletes. Their names are household, but a LeBron name, you throw his name out, everybody in the world will know his name. You throw a Kawhi, you might have 6 or 7 people be like, "Who's Kawhi?"
You see how he said that boy athlete though, and not just
right?
Yeah,
because no,
everybody in the world know them, bro.
That don't mean that even if his name was associated with that for whatever reason. Like I said, I know a lot of LeBron James fans, and I do not think them individuals would be behind that.
If they understand what I'm talking about, they will.
I don't.
I don't.
Because I'm a LeBron fan, so I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Like I just said,
what I'm talking about.
Even Savannah, he wouldn't even buy that for Savannah. Like this is
I'm not saying I'm saying the level when she said
you're talking about the prestige. Like,
so we should have just
when she said if I'd have led with a crayon dress, you know what I'm saying, and how that would go off, I feel like it would go off. It would do what it's supposed to do, but it wouldn't have the higher level of people who are going to be backing it or going to be on it. You know what I'm saying? A quiet, big time celebrity would be the people who are on the crayon dress. This the reason why both of them would do the same type of numbers, but the shit that you going to see all the time, every day on your timeline, on your TV, what people are talking about on the news will be the condom dress. For one, it's a condom dress. And two, it's going to be too many people clicking on it, giving their own opinions. And three, the reason it has its big endorsements to do what the crown dress is doing is because it got the bigger rich name people behind it.
If that was the case, I feel like I would have knew about this condom dress. And I ain't never seen that before. I mean, regardless of who is attached to it, something that's that controversial, that talked about, I feel like I would have seen it.
I definitely seen it. It was on my goddamn timeline. It was on the Feddy page timeline. Actually, that's where I seen the shit at.
We gotta, we can't use them people with that type
Whatever,
of stuff.
man. Y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. Act like y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Y'all know what I meant.
We know what you said.
Yeah, I know what you said.
Y'all know what the hell I meant.
I heard you, but
I don't want to hear that. Y'all know what I meant.
I couldn't put my context clues together. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You win some, you lose some.
Anyways, let's take unless you got anything else you want to ask before I'm finna flip the script. Not flip the script, but go into another. Well, we gotta ask the Feddy question.
Yeah, I was gonna say keep it on fashion real quick. Our famous Feddy question is, what is next for Urban Ugly?
It's Ugly Urban.
Okay, I apologize. I didn't want to say you. All right.
Listen, it's okay because
let me try again.
My bad, bro.
Okay. So our famous Feddy question is, what's next? I forgot it. Yeah, I didn't want to say. What's next for you?
Okay, so what's next? Like I was talking about earlier, what I want to do is take it to where the brand is. Like I said, you'll still have like ready-made things, but I also want to get into like really that designer realm to where, because for me, UU was never really, I don't really think I had plans for it to be what it is now, is where it's like I have a whole bunch of ready-made pieces. I always wanted to be a designer. I always wanted to have like some type of exclusivity to the brand. And I feel like I've accomplished that with what I've been doing with the brand, but I do want to get into that cut and sew aspect as far as I'm the one cutting and sewing and manufacturing pieces basically from the roll of fabric to what it is. In 25, I will tell y'all this, that something that's on my bucket list is my bingo card, not bucket list. I plan to for each month, make a certain amount of pieces and then go to a different state and shoot them. So whether that looks like linking up with a photographer in that state or going to that state and just being in that environment and shooting it on my tripod, is for 2025, for the 12 months, I plan to do that. Like that's something heavy on my mind as far as like what I want to do as far as exposure, as far as being in different areas, exploring in like the designer aspect of it. Like, well, pushing the designer aspect, because I do design my graphics and all of that stuff as of right now, but I want to push it. I want to draw back on the logo being on the pieces, because like Louis Vuitton, for example, I feel like Louis Vuitton, aside from their, that stamped LV logo, is they have pieces where it's like, if you know, you know. Mm-hmm. And I want to get into that realm of fashion where it's like, I know that piece and I don't have to see a logo on it to know that piece. So that's my focus for you in the next, moving forward, as far as a brand and a whole thing. Like I was talking about earlier, if I could get into a residency to where I can take up jewelry making again, I'll probably add that as well, jewelry aspect. But yeah, for right now, that's where I'm at with it. I want to get a couple of different pieces. This Peacoat series shouldn't be crazy. Like, I'm really excited for it. I'm going to New York to get the fabric for the pieces that I want to make. So I'm really like, I got half of the year planned out, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm gonna be looking out. I love a good peacoat. I need another one.
For sure.
So
Oh, God. I need to quit playing and just grab me some pieces from you, period. I've been telling your ass for a minute I was going to get some. I just ain't got around to grabbing no shit.
It's okay. I understand.
I'm going to get some
shit. It be like that sometimes.
I'm going to get some shit, though. I need to. Them bitches.
And I also want to, like, sew for the pieces that I do have that are, like, ready-made. I also want to upscale those as well, because I don't know. I want to have timeless pieces. Like, I don't want to have, like, pieces where, okay, I got 2 years out of it. I want to have pieces like when our parents was growing up, their clothes was lasting till, like, we was grown and, like, they pulling them out and they still in good condition. Like, I want to have pieces like that. So that's also a thing. Like, keep it what it is, but take it up a couple notches. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at with it.
For sure. I liked it. That was, yeah, it's pretty good up and coming stuff. It's very detailed, very intriguing. So where I want to take it to next for this little piece here, of course, your defying urban stereotypes. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about stereotypes. Give us some stereotypes that you don't like about black people. Funny, not funny, whatever it is. I just want to know something.
So I'm gonna talk about stereotypes in my workplace. Y'all know how black women is about their hair and how that can be a thing in the workplace. So I had a situation to where one of my supervisors was making a habit to comment on my hair. And it was like a thing of me and this other black girl worked there. And they would constantly call me her name. And the reason why they were calling me her name is because we had the same hair. And I just feel like that's just, some stereotypical stuff. Like, why is it that you feel like we the same person because we got the same hairdo? And I feel like that goes deeper than just the hair. I feel like people associate that with so much more. Like, oh, she wear her hair like that, so she gotta act like that. Like, for example, you got now your Sexy Red, and then you got girls that wear their hair like that. And I know women that wear their hair in vibrant colors and have absolutely no traits in relation to Sexy Red. So I think that's a lot of, like, people take small things and try to group you into other things. Because it's like, just because we both got twists in our hair, we look alike, or we do the same things, or I'm associating that with her and I'm putting y'all both in the same group because of that one thing. And I don't know if I answered your question or not, but
no, for sure.
And I also feel like we fall into that stigma of your cousin did it, why you can't do it? And it goes into things of college, scholarship, things like that. I'm gonna say it. I've always felt like everybody is not meant to go to college. Like, I've never felt like everybody was designed for that. Yeah. And when I say college, I mean like a 4-year institution, like in a classroom, bachelor's type college. I'm all for, after having a bachelor's, in school for a master's. I'll tell anybody, go get a trade. Like, go, find out what it is that you're passionate about and take it there. Like, everybody can't be a nurse. Everybody can't be a doctor. Like, we need some electricians. I'm going to say this. Everybody can't be a fashion designer. Look. We need some plumbers. We need some electricians. Yes, we need all of that stuff. And I hate how, like, regardless of people admit it or not, those type of things are looked down on. Now it's getting better. I will see that, people praise an electrician. But electrician was always making money. They was always in a good place. But because it wasn't what you was used to, it was like, well, why you can't go to school to be a nurse? Why you want to go be a plumber? Lady.
I do HVAC.
Like, right. Like, these are $100,000 careers that we're talking about a year. Easy. And I feel like people are so caught up in the standard of what other people have projected on us as Black people to be right. And we just accepted that. But I will say now, I'm happy to see that, I talk to kids that are coming out of high school now. And you have people that say, I'm going to school to be an electrician. I'm going to school to do plumbing. I'm going to school to, hell, I'm going to work for the city. I'm going to take care of the roads. Like, I feel like our idea
definitely need that.
Success has been so limited. Like,
do you feel like that comes from how you were saying earlier, we boxed in to the point where, not really, I wouldn't say gatekeeping, but like,
we gatekeep like a mug.
No, not us. They're gatekeeping. Like, they're gatekeeping. Like, yeah, you can go to school, get your degree, but I'm not about to hire you.
Yeah. Because, like, it's a running thing where they say bachelor's degrees lost value when Black people started getting. And if you look at it, at one point in time, it was a thing where if you had a 4-year degree, easy money. Now it's like, we going to get them, and we getting several different ones, and now it's like, you
can't get a job in your field.
Almost a doctor to get an entry-level position.
Oh, God.
And
I see them folks talking about, well, I got a bachelor's degree making 14, 15.
It's
why is the minimum not a certain pay if I got a degree? You asking me for this, but I'm still getting basic pay.
But I also think, like, they gatekeep, but we do it too. And I'll say that firmly because I've seen it. I've experienced it myself, as far as, like, you could tell a person, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that, you need to be investing, but you haven't offered tools on, if I ain't never knew about investing, I don't come from a family that does that. I don't have, of course, yeah, I would expect for you to do your research, but if it's something that I know absolutely nothing about, like, I could research all day, but I'm not retaining any of that information because that's not something that I'm familiar with.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
and I think that right there is what stops a lot of people because,
right.
Yeah, I had somebody tell me to do this. I tried to look it up and.
Right, because it's like, I looked it up and I see all of this foreign language. Yes, it's written in English, but it's not something that I'm versed in. So
right,
I don't know what I'm looking at. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, you're telling me you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that, X, Y, and Z, but you're not willing to reach back and help that individual. Like, whether it's a fee or not. And that's also something that I feel like we need to get away from. Like, all of these master classes with Googleable information, like, if I'm going to pay you, I need it to not be what's on Google. Because, like, come on, like, yeah, I read that on Google and I just paid you $350 to tell me the same thing. You ain't give me no more information than what Google did.
It's like copy paste. It's like especially when you have these things where they teaching people how to get into e-commerce or learn how to market and shit like that, and how to, make money off your products. It's like they give you the big title and the subtitle, but there's no context in what they're telling you, bro. It's like, okay, we see you got in 3 months, you made this amount of money off this, but what do you, I paid for you to tell me what you do to get to this point, and all you doing is just showing me what you got off of it. Like they do that way too much. That is a big ass scam in my book.
And I feel like
I'll never know.
I've never had it. I've never done it. I know somebody who has done it before, and I was itching to learn it from them.
I would never pay for nobody's class.
Yeah, that shit crazy. I almost did it one time. One time I was very close.
Fact, I've almost done a couple because it was one of the, especially like when we was first starting this. I'm like, not even really just because I'm lost, but like, all right, I know there's many ways of doing this, so I kind of want to do this the right way. I'm very meticulous about what I'm trying to do. So
I almost did it with Forex.
Bro, I
almost did it with Forex
because with them, I know you're. In my, I know the 4X isn't a scam, but I know you're scamming. But with the whole kind of, because it'd be one of those like, I have never shown interest, so why are you randomly trying to message me about this shit?
I had too many people around me who was like, and the people around me were legit making money off Forex, no cap. But it was like I don't know. A lot of them who presented it to me were real busy, and I could never just get them on a homie level with me to talk about it. So when I started seeing it more on social media, I was close. I was close to just get the information from them. I was close as hell, but I just said, nah, I'm not gonna do it.
I don't know. I just feel like
can't do it.
I don't know. I think that, and I feel like I have a thing about myself where I need to work on it, but I be thinking like sometimes my perception can be off, but looking at it from the outside, looking in, I feel like a lot of that stuff is just superficial. Like I could Google it, telling me to Google it. That's great. I did. Now tell me what X, Y, and Z mean. Like,
so
I don't have no knowledge of this. And it's not just with Forex. It's with, if I want to go and get a license for real estate, it's like, that should be locked up in Fort Knox at the Gold Center. Like, no, bro, like, what? Yeah, I found out these two things. What is it that I need to do first? Or what is it that you suggest? Like, I don't know. I feel like we get so caught up in keeping baseline information. Because regardless of, if I tell you you need to cut 4 front panels for a jacket, I could tell you that all day. But if you've never done that, what is that information gonna do for you?
Not a goddamn
thing. Like,
I think it's more fear, like you were saying. From the gatekeeper's point of view, I don't want to be the reason you blow up and then you doing better than me. Like, type of shit is that? How? And that's all they gonna think about is how they doing better than me. I've been doing this for X, Y, and Z. But I mean, we say we want better for the community, but I couldn't tell you how to initiate that. I just play my role, and I feel like I don't gatekeep. Like when I was trying to hit you up and ask about the mics, and you was like, I was like, bro, just tell me the name of the mics. So for my coworker when he was trying to start his podcast, or no, what we was using to edit. We just have to do better as a community. I feel like if we're going to gatekeep like what I'm trying to plan next. Like, all right, I'm working on some pieces. Yeah, cool. I'm not about to tell you my next collection is this, this, and this. If we gonna gatekeep, just gatekeep like that. I don't, because then it goes into something you also said earlier with like ideas. Like, I don't want to try to tell an idea and like try to talk about and plan for it, and then you sit here and listen to me, and you're just like, nah, I don't think that'll work. You know, I don't like that idea for you. Like, I just don't see you doing something like that. Like that's what I don't want to hear. Yeah. It'll make me not ever want to tell you anything again.
Yep.
You know?
And I also, like, the reason that I've been so drawn back lately with talking about ideas is because that dopamine that's released when you're talking about something that excites you or that you're passionate about, I've realized that talking about it so many different times and sharing that, it takes away from the actual work quality. Like, you've talked about it, you've expressed it, you've been passionate about it, and you still ain't got the product. So I feel like that also plays a role in the creative process. Mm-hmm. So if I tell y'all about it and then I go home and tell my mama about it, you know, I talk to a mentor about it, and I still ain't worked on it, it ain't gonna never get did. Cause all the excitement, I done expressed all of that emotion, I done put all of that in the atmosphere, and now it's like, well, dang, I ain't even got the series now, cause only thing I did was talk about it.
Nah, I feel that, yeah.
So that's also a thing for me now. Like, I'll talk about it to a certain extent, but as far as like getting into it, it's, I need some of that energy to go into the actual design process.
Sure.
Well, what a pleasure. I feel like it was a very lovely conversation.
For sure. For sure.
Dope.
If you don't mind, shout yourself out one more time. Tell them where to find you at.
Again, my name is Jasmine Allen, owner operator of Ugly Urban. On Instagram is Ugly Urban LLC. On Facebook is Ugly Urban. Yeah. And thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
For sure. Anytime. You know what I'm saying? Glad to have you on. And yeah, great conversation for sure. Thanks for giving us your insight on this business and sharing it with the folks, the family. Anything else to say, my boy?
We back in cozy action. It's almost Christmas. Like I said, working on next year.
Next year.
Right. I need my third host to make an appearance.
Facts.
Make an appearance, shawty.
Oh, it's 3 people?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it is.
Is the third person male or female?
Female.
Where's she at?
Busy. Mm-hmm. She be busy.
I was about to say, yeah, shorty. She always got motion. She got Atlanta motion. She famous.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. Well, again, thank you. Appreciate y'all. Again, as always, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Yeah, I know. And make sure we really trying to push that YouTube aspect right now. Just this moment. Want to push that YouTube action. Y'all really doing good. I want to say Thursday, our subscribers was at 114, and we went up 10 by Monday. So we sitting at 124 right now. So y'all
Who
be
y'all
really
on Thursday?
Huh?
Who y'all had on Thursday?
Nah, it wasn't even like I hadn't even posted an episode yet. I just checked our subscribers, and it was 114. And I checked again Monday, not even intentionally. I just got into it and saw that we went up 10. So it's pretty good.
I gotta go home and subscribe to the YouTube. I'm on YouTube, but I don't have I got a YouTube account. I'm not on YouTube reviewing anything. So yeah, I gotta go on there and subscribe.
You can always get on there and check out your favorite partner damn podcast.
A bunch of episodes, reels is rolling through.
For sure.
Gotta work some things. I want to do some cleanups.
Definitely got
something I wanted to talk to her about, but
yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, share, subscribe. We out of here.
Feddy Boyz.
Dig.